Okay.
What are PLSQL subprogram? A PLSQL subprogram is a named PLSQL block that can be called with a set of parameters. You can declare and define a subprogram within either a PLSQL block or another subprogram. A subprogram consists of a specific specification and a body. A subprogram can be procedure or a function. Typically, you use a procedure to perform an action and a function to compute and return a value. Subprograms can be grouped into PLSQL package. Package माने कौन गोटे group जो थरे कि हमें हम statement उड़ा को हमें store करी रखी परिवा या फिर within the package हमें at a time केमती execute करी परिवा. बुझला? A PLSQL subprogram is a named PLSQL block that can be called with a set of parameters. You can declare and define a subprogram within either a PLSQL block or another subprogram. Subprogram parts. A subprogram consists of a specification and a body. To declare a subprogram, you must provide the space specification shortcut SPEC, right? Which includes description of any parameters. To define a subprogram, you must provide both a specification and the body. You can either declare a subprogram first and define it later in the same block or subprogram, or declare and define it at the same time. Subprogram types. PLSQL has two types of subprogram, that is procedure and function. Right? Subprogram or दी प्रकार अच्छी PLSQL गोटे होची procedure आउट होची मोर function. Typically, you use procedure to perform an action and a function to compute and return a value. A procedure and a function have the same structure, except that only a function has some additional items such as return clause or the return statement. The return clause specifies the data type of the return value. A return statement specifies the return value required. Functions are covered in more detail in the next lesson titled creating function and debugging subprogram. Right? आ विषय return statement विषय तमरो एई को chapter रे तमरो describe करा है. Program can be grouped into PLSQL package, which make code even more reusable and maintainable. Packages are covered in the package lesson 3 and more package description दिया है. The benefits of using PLSQL subprogram. देखो easy maintenance मु PLSQL retain रे लिखिबी. सेटा मोर कोठी की जीवो improve data security and integrity. सेटारू मोर आसीबो database server को subprogram store procedure को. सेथरु जदी मते जदी improve clarity जदी करिवार अछि ताले search operation दबार अछि. Then मोर improved performance मोर आसीबो. बुझला? तो ऑल टोटल मोर डाटाबेस रे मो भीतर मोर सब प्रोग्राम मो स्टोर करिया पय मोर एते सब जिंस करिवार अछि. बुझला? The benefits of subprogram. Procedure and function have many benefits due to modularizing of code. Easy maintenance is realized because subprogram are located in one place. Modification need to be done in only one place to affect multiple application and minimize excessive testing. Improved data security can be achieved by controlling indirect access to database object from non-privileged user with security privilege. The subprogram are by default executed with defined right. The execute privilege does not allow a calling user direct access to object that are accessible to the subprogram. Data integrity कौन देखो? Data integrity is managed by having related action performed together or not at all. Right? Data integrity माने तमरो जेते सबु तमरो action अछि ताकू at a time तमरो performance दवा पे at a time execute करिया पे तमु data integrity दरकार. जेमिदी तुम एग्जाम टाइम रे पेपर तुमको मिलूची धर फिजिकल एग्जाम चलছে तुम बाय द पेपर रे तुमको आंसर लिखिया पड़ुची जितरा पेपर तुम करूचो सेतरा पेपर को तुम स्टैपलिंग करूचो दैट इज कॉल्ड द डाटा इंटीग्रिटी माने गोटे ग्रुप आकार मु सबमिट करूची बुझला improved performance can be realized from reuse of a past PLSQL code that becomes available in the shared SQL area of the server. Subsequent calls to the subprogram avoid parsing the code again because PLSQL code is passed at compile time. The passing override of SQL statement is avoided at runtime. Code can be written to reduce the number of network calls to the database and therefore decrease network traffic. Improved code clarity can be attained by using appropriate names and convention to describe the action of the routines, thereby reducing the need for comment and enhancing the clarity of the code. Difference between anonymous block and subprogram. The anonymous block, unnamed PLSQL block, subprogram named PLSQL block. Anonymous block compiled every time, subprogram compiled only one. Block not stored in the database, subprogram stored in the database. Anonymous block cannot be invoked by other application, subprogram named and therefore can be invoked by the other application. Anonymous block do not return values. Subprogram called function must return value, right? Anonymous block cannot take parameter. Subprogram can take parameter. Subprogram रे procedure use होची सेति पे हमर parameter सेटा The table in the slide not only shows the difference between anonymous block and subprogram but also highlights the general benefits of a subprogram. Anonymous block are not present database object. They are compiled and executed only once. What I mean? Which cause recognition and execution. Procedure and function are compiled and stored in the database in a compiled form. They are recompiled only when they are modified because they are stored in the database. Any application can make use of these subprogram based on appropriate permissions. The calling application can pass parameter to the procedure if the procedure is designed to accept parameters. Similarly, a calling application can retrieve a value if it invokes a function or a procedure, right? Working with procedure, creating and calling procedure, identify the available parameter passing modes, use formal and actual parameters, use positional, named or mixed notation. What are procedures? Are types of subprogram that perform an action can be stored in the database as a schema object, promote reusability and maintainability. A procedure is named PLSQL block that can accept parameters, sometimes referred to as argument. Generally, you use a procedure to perform an action. It has a header, a declaration section, an executable section, and an optional exception handling section. A procedure is invoked by using the procedure name in the execution section of another PLSQL block. A procedure is compiled and stored in the database as a schema object. If you are using the procedure with Oracle forms and reports, then they can be compiled within the Oracle forms or Oracle report executable. Procedure promotes reusability and maintainability. When validated, they can used in any number of applications. If requirement change, only procedure needs to be updated. Right? तमे जदि procedure भितर ताको जदि लेखुच, जदि तमे procedure को खाली update करिवो, खाली से procedure टा update हो. Entire तमरो original data को से affect करिवो नहीं. बुझला? Creating procedure overview. The develop a procedure using tools such as SQL Developer. Perform the following steps. Create a procedure using SQL Developer Object Navigator tree or the SQL worksheet area. Compile the procedure. The procedure is created in the database and gets compiled. The create procedure statement creates and store secure code and the compiled M code in the database. To calculate, to compile the procedure, right click the procedure name in the object navigator tree and then click compile. Right click करिवो object navigation tree जो left side रे तमर जो आछी and compile सेठी करिवो compile है. If a compilation error exit, then the M code is not stored and you must edit the source code to make correction. You cannot invoke a procedure that contains compilation error. You can view the compilation error in SQL Developer, SQL Star Plus, or the appropriate data dictionary view as shown in the slide. After successful compilation, execute the procedure to perform the desired action. You can run the procedure using SQL Developer or use the execute command in SQL Star Plus. If compilation error occurs, you use a create or replace procedure statement to overwrite the existing code. If you previously used a create procedure statement, otherwise drop the procedure first, then the execute create procedure. If already तमे procedure create करिଛ ताले ताको drop करो, then again तमे create करो, या फिर तमे ताको existing ताको चलाबे ना तो continue करो. बुझला? Creating procedure with the SQL create and or replace statement. We use the create clause to create a standalone procedure that is stored in the Oracle database. Use the or replace option to overwrite an existing procedure. यदि मोर existing अच्छी ताले replace कर पड़ी, यदि नहीं ताले create कर पड़ी. जेम दे इठी मोर create or replace procedure name, then parameters, then तारा statement देखला PLSQL block रे भीतरे तार statement टाको लिखी. बुझला? You can use the create procedure SQL statement to create standalone procedure data stored in an Oracle database. A procedure is similar to a miniature program. It performs a specific action. You specify the name of the procedure, its parameter, its local variable, and the begin end block that contains its code and handle any exception. PLSQL blocks start with begin optionally preceded by the declaration of local variable. PLSQL block end with either end or end procedure name. The replace option indicates that if the procedure exit, it is dropped and replaced with the new version created by the statement. The replace option does not drop any of the privilege associated with the procedure. Other systematic syntactic element, parameter 1 represent the name of parameter. The mode option defines how a parameter is used in. Default out or in out data type 1 specifies the parameter data type without any prescription. Note that parameter can be considered as local variable, subroutine, substitution, and host variable cannot be referred anywhere in the definition of PLSQL store procedure. The or replace option does not require any changes in object security as long as own the object and have the create procedure privilege. Creating procedure using SQL Developer. SQL Developer right click new procedure करिवो, new procedure ना दबो, okay करिवो, procedure create हो. ऑब्जेक्ट एक्सप्लोरर रे नेविगेशन रे एटी प्रोसीजर रे राइट क्लिक करला परे न्यू प्रोसीजर रो ना दबो, देन ओके करियो, प्रोसीजर क्रिएट हे. बुझला? एटा होचे एसक्यूएल डेवलपर. एटा हम काली पढियो क्रिएटिंग एसक्यूएल डेवलपर हला.
सर एग्जांपल उडा देबेटा
मत टिके मु टिके व्यस्त रहउची कारण बागरटा अछि बोले मु टिके काम रहउची. हला मु टिके फ्री देखि कि मु अनेक पठेली हला.
ठीक है ठीक है